everybody get a close enough look?
That
7 years old. Yeah.
was that his name Star?
Yes.
What is okay, Star?
Yeah, we
My
named him
God.
Star. We try to keep all of our birds with the celestial theme.
Okay.
And so he's definitely the star of the show, but it's supposed to be like a twinkly star.
And what is his expected age length? About you said 20 years.
In captivity, he can live pretty close to 30. I think
30.
like 28 years is a kind of fair for him.
And
He
how
likes
is his
wheelchair.
personality? Like, does he have to have like one master, like you're his master? Or how does that work?
Normally they would be very gregarious. They live and are comfortable with other birds in their area. But where he is an imprint, and he pretty much has imprinted on me as his caregiver, he's very attached to me, cuddly with me. With the others, not so much. He will tolerate them, and we're getting it so that he can go to, to outings and things without me. But he's definitely prefers if I'm around.
Now,
Yep.
so if he has any behavioral issues, do they have behavioral issues that you could handle more than?
Sometimes we do have to work with different behavioral issues with our education birds. We choose very carefully to make sure that the bird that we have on education is comfortable with it, that it's, that he has a good character for that particular thing. Some birds don't want this kind of thing. They'd rather we just stand here and have people come past us. It's just each one, he doesn't care as long as I'm there. We can do whatever. We've actually been to events where there've been 2,000 or 3,000 people.
Wow.
And they're like, as long as they're fun, their comfort is there. And if they do get nervous, if they're getting anxious, then we do give them a break. We put them away and give them a break. But in the wild, 3 to 4 years. In captivity, can live like 28 years.
That's pretty good.
Oh, in the wild, not too long.
No, it's very, very hard for owls out there. People think of them as big, aggressive birds, but they are not waterproof like other birds are, like the red-tailed hawks. And so a 2 or 3 day rain that keeps them wet, they become hypothermic.
Really?
They also can't fly if they're wet, so it makes it more difficult for them to catch food and that sort of thing. But the silent flight caused by their super soft feathers is what makes them such successful hunters. Because they can fly across an open field, they hear the mouse, they fly over to it, get the mouse, and the mouse never knows he's coming because they're so silent in their flight.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's another thing. If we have an owl that comes in that has some kind of disruption to a wing that changes the sound when they fly, then we can't release them either. So it may be a perfectly healthy bird, but because he would not be able to hunt on his own, we can't release him because we don't want to put him out there and have him starve.
That makes sense.
And do they catch any kind of diseases or anything living alone in a cage or living?
They're not as susceptible to disease in captivity. Now, in the wild, they are susceptible to West Nile virus. They're susceptible to avian pox. When I bring Sonny out, you'll see he came in with a double diagnosis. He had both of them. And he was probably at the end of his natural life expectancy in the wild. So he's been with us for 7, 8 years. And so we've given him a lot of life. And he's given us a lot of life. He's an amazing bird. And he really does enjoy people watching, which makes his job very nice.
Excuse me.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I was curious. Where are you all located as far as, do you allow people to come to you, like volunteers, or?
We
How do y'all do
are
that?
out in Western Branch,
Okay.
where Chesapeake, Portsmouth, and Suffolk come together.
Okay.
And we have a very robust volunteer program.
Okay.
We have like 30 plus volunteers. We try to work in teams and have a large team each day because there's a lot of work to keeping these guys happy and
I'm
healthy.
sure.
But we can't have like visitors come by. We are not an open because we do have patients.
Okay.
Once we get our facility where where we can separate our patients from
Right.
our education birds, then we'll be able to have tours and that sort of thing, but we're not there yet.
But you all go to wherever you're requested to go to?
Anywhere people
Okay.
will sit and listen to us.
Now, do they have
Okay.
a good bird veterinarian in our area?
Yes,
They do.
yes.
I heard that they did. Okay.
We have amazing veterinary support. We use actually April Dove over at Warwick Animal Hospital in Hampton or Newport News? Newport News.
Yeah.
They all kind of run together to me. There's a vet on Virginia Beach Boulevard. It's called Pet Care Vet. And he used to be the only bird vet that we had in this area. He trained Tony Potus, who is at Midway, which is very close to here.
Okay,
Yeah, and he does all exotics.
Yeah.
As far as rehabbers go, we tend to develop a relationship with a particular vet, and then a lot of times we have to work our way through the learning process together, because not all vets, as you know, are bird vets.
Yes.
But I'm very fortunate that April Dove is excellent. We also use the Wildlife Center of Virginia, which is up in Waynesboro, Virginia, for anything that we can't handle down here. It's a long drive, but if it's something that we can't handle, we send them up there and they make miracles happen.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
We also have an ophthalmologist, animal eye care.
Wow.
Because a lot of our birds, probably like 90% of them, come in with eye injuries.
Wow.
Owls are very, very prone to eye injuries. For one thing, their eyes make up almost the entire inside of their head. It's been said that if our eyes were the size of a great horned owl's eyes in our head, it would be like an orange. Like we had two oranges sitting in our brain. So it does kind of make it really difficult for them to protect those eyes. Plus, they don't have cushioning around their eyes like we do. Their eyes are actually fit right into the skeleton and they're cone shaped. So they can't rotate, they can't move. There's no room for them to bounce around if there's a head injury. So they frequently get injuries. That's why they have to be able to turn their heads so far,
that's what it sounds
because
like.
they can't move their eyes side to side.
Okay.
So I want to go ahead
Wow.
and get the next owl out, if you don't mind. And Denise, do you mind getting Celeste?
Sorry, bird.
Yeah, if you'll get Celeste.